up, what up? I believe the mic should be on. Everything should be working now. Gonna get started here in just a second. Got to get the battery. No way. What's up, Evan? Yep, there is. I'm not sure if that's the printer that you're hearing or there's some mic feedback or something. Hopefully it's not mic feedback, because that would be a lot harder to get around. You found me in Portland, is that so? Sure you didn't find me somewhere else first? Oh crap. Ugh. Alright, I have to find a spot to plug in this other fan. Otherwise my battery is going to be very sad. I don't think either of my cameras can see the printer right now, but you can probably hear it when I'm standing this close to it. But that is the new printer in the house. It is quite awesome. I've been posting all over the place about it. Right now is currently printing ABS, and I can smell it a little bit, but it's not too bad. I didn't do anything, I just walked over to the printer, so it probably is that. You got headphones on? That's probably the easiest way to hear. Alrighty. Kyle, your enclosure's here. Gotta plug in my battery monitor. There we go, 11.8 volts. I forgot to charge that, but that should be okay. Hopefully that'll be enough to make it through the rest of these welds. When indeed, when indeed. Well, I'm going on work travel this week, so it definitely won't be this week. I'm not sure how much of this we're going to get done today. I'm hoping to finish welding all of these strips on here today. This last one on the top, and then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the bottom. So we shall see. Transition U. That's in the shot. That's kind of lame. Wonder, I'm gonna switch lenses real quick. Closer one would be better here. You know, you have oil slick trucks, right, Kyle? Did I not transition to the GoPro? What happened? There we go. Yes, oil slick Matrix 2s, Evan. You know, the very fun ones to fit into Kevin's gear drives. I've been through it once. I know the pain, which is why Kyle does not want to do it himself. All right. Transition back to this. Bam. All right, now you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm not really going to do a stream intro today. I'm literally just going to start welding and go for it. So anyone that's watching this afterwards will just have to listen to me chat, I guess. How's y'all's nights going? Had a pretty fun night ride last night that I was able to lead with SD Eastgate. It was pretty fun. It was a little bit chaotic at times, but I enjoyed it. And we got to ride underneath fireworks as they were happening. That was kind of interesting timing. The gremlins, is that what we're calling the children now? Putting my hands over the battery reminded me to take my watch off so I don't accidentally short something out. Don't need any Sparkies tonight. Oh, yeah. Yep, you got that right. Honestly, I have no idea how to say your username, but yeah, come check it out. They're fun. Some of them are more chaotic than others, but we do our best to lead them so that they are fun for everyone. So just a quick review on this battery here. I am using 0.15 by 30 millimeter nickel strip, and I am welding at 44 joules on a K-weld with a Turnigy 6000 milliamp hour battery. And this setup has done thousands of successful welds for me. So yeah, that's what we're running with tonight, and going to attempt to finish welding the rest of the nickel strips on this battery. No idea how much I'm going to get done. My cutoff time is kind of around 9, so we'll see. Later tonight I'm going to continue editing my Carve PDX video. Get some of that cool ride footage out there. I'm debating if I should make like a video and a couple Instagram reels, or just a video. I think I'm gonna make a couple reels because I think they'll do pretty well. See, what's up, Mark? That's where you're wrong. My fingers are so used to getting hot that they just don't feel it anymore. Yeah, to actually answer your question, yes, they do get warm. But it's kind of just a like dash and pause thing. So I'm going to attempt to weld this entire side in one go. It's probably not going to happen because they are getting pretty hot right now. I still need to print a set of duct grips, or probe grips, which is basically just TPU sleeves that fit over these probes so that you can weld longer without burning your fingers, because yeah, it does get pretty hot. Unfortunately, wearing like leather gloves doesn't help very much, because leather actually like seems to hold heat pretty well. So it will be welding, and then maybe at the beginning it'll last a little longer, but after you go for a longer amount of time, it just soaks through anyway, so it's like, why use it in the first place? Oof. Yeah, now they're hot. So now I'm going to let them set off to the side for a minute, and we're going to chill. One of the downsides of only having a single welder, for sure. Yes, So Brickett Eastgate runs SD Eastgate. I'm one of the admins of SD Eastgate. I try to help run some group rides and do stuff like that. Double wall heat shrink. I'm not sure what application you're talking about. What would you be using the heat shrink for? Oh, I don't know. It might help a little bit, but the Pro grips are like, I want to say 5 millimeters. Oh wait, no, they gotta be bigger. Maybe like 10 millimeters in diameter. So if you remember, like back when I was like a kid, we used to have like little rubber things that you'd put on like a pencil, so you could hold it easier when you're learning to write. Kind of like that size. So it's more of like a big insulator than just a thin layer of heat shrink. Although I do wonder, maybe like the marine grade heat shrink would be okay, but don't want to set it to auto mode. Yeah, maybe the marine grade, but not going to be as good as the Pro grips. And I have to wonder if the marine grade adhesive inside would actually like melt, because they do get pretty hot. And that is that side done. So now is where we have to be careful, because right now we currently have this whole side. Oh, this camera's battery's gonna run out. I need to swap that. This whole side that you can see on camera right now is connected. So now, when we're welding the other side, I need to make sure that I don't accidentally touch these same cells across on the other side, because that would end up with a massive fireball, and that is not what you want to see. I'm going to switch to the GoPro only for the moment, so I can switch the batteries out on here. I know, I like marine grade a lot too. I use it for especially like thicker wires, because it holds them in place a lot better. The only downside is that it makes them a lot stiffer. In some applications, I don't necessarily want it to be a lot stiffer. So it's good most of the time, but not always. Alright, let's see. Close out of this. And switch back. There we go. Alright, so anyway, like I was saying, don't want to accidentally touch the wrong ones on the opposite side. So you've got to be super careful. and fortunately I've done this many times, so I pretty much have it down pat. But this is where covering extra cells with tape can become a valuable tool. So I might consider doing that, or at least put some of the fiber board stuff on here so I don't accidentally touch them across. It's interesting, as I set these nickel strips on here, I can kind of see where some of the cells aren't perfectly aligned. And it's just an artifact of having to glue them all together. If you had 3D printed cell holders or something else that holds them completely straight, the edge of the nickel would be more even across the cells, but it's not really going to affect anything, just an observation. Getting a lot of sparking here, and probably should give the probes a little bit of a file. It's always so funny when you see welding. Some spot welding sparks a lot, especially stuff on steel. But for battery welding, you actually don't want to see very much sparks, because it often means you didn't have as good a connection as you could have. I don't know, guys. I don't know if you guys can see, but in the background here, I've got one of these cool new hubs that Tanuki on the form made, and I 3D printed it out. It looks so cool. I picked the orange color as the text color because I have a multicolor printer now, and it just pops. It looks super neat. On them right now, I've got those new BKB tires too, so I'm looking forward to seeing how well those do on the road. And I think I want to oh my god, really? I think I want to try the BKB tires on my Mountainboard and just see how ridiculous the torque is with the 5.2 gear ratio and stuff. But we will see how that goes. For one, I definitely need to get longer screws, because the default size that Tanuki recommends is 25 millimeters, and wow, I was really muted that whole time. That's lame. Dude, apparently I was muted. I don't know how long I've been muted. That's so awkward. I'm unmuted now for sure because I just pressed the button on my mic pack. So, what's up, Zach? Okay, good. There you go. There's a sweet welding noise. Three sets of wires and tips connected to high amp barrel switch to keep your... That's an interesting idea. One thing though, whatever port you're using would have to be extremely high amp because, you know, even though this only pulls for a couple of milliseconds, it's like 1400 to 1600 amps for those milliseconds. So finding one that wouldn't overheat very fast would be difficult, but that would definitely be interesting. One thing that one of our friends was trying is air cooling them by like blowing air past the tips with a fan. That seemed pretty cool. He ended up just upgrading his setup to a higher gauge wire. I think he went to 6 gauge. Oof. I think he went to 6 gauge wire. And I think that's working out better for him now. It'll definitely take longer to heat up while you're welding. Because the thing is, I like have to stop like this to let the probes cool, and it's just really inconvenient. So yeah, I don't know how long we're gonna be welding tonight. I might have to start soldering the positive and negatives because we're at 3.79 volts per cell right now, and I pretty much only run these down to like 3.5. So we'll see how far we can get. Oh, nice, Zach. Thanks for dropping by. Keep track in my head. Other side of this is the negative, through, and then through again. So we're going on this next set right here. Put down the magnets to keep it in place. What's up, dude? Dropping by to see some welding action. Probably something you don't see every day. Letting my probes cool right now because they're very hot. It's funny, these K-weld probes get to temperatures of like, I don't know, it's got to be like 120, 130 or something like that pretty quickly. I have a temperature probe here. I can measure it next time. Yeah, I've got a lot of different sets of skills, and this is one of the ones that makes a little bit of money, so that's always good. Probe's cooled down a little bit. Hopefully I can do all these tack welds here. So people who are unfamiliar with my method here, I typically will go down the strip either it doesn't have to be a big one like this, like either the regular side or regular size, like 4-piece strips, 5-piece strips, whatever. I'll come along and do a nice little tack weld, just one set all the way along. And then I'll move over to the other side, do the other tack set. Oof. And my fingers are hot now, so. Anyone that says they don't like money is lying. It's completely fair to not like things that come along with greed. You can get into a whole philosophical debate about this, but there's just so many things you can do with money. It's nice to have. So now we've got this whole tack set on here, and while the probes are cooling, it'll stay in place. And yeah, it is a K-weld, Zach. It's set to 44 joules right now, running out of a Turnigy 6000 milliamp hour battery, and it does the job. I actually got this battery from Joey, Z Battery Systems. He sold it to me used a while back when my last battery died. So I don't know how long this one will last, but it's been running pretty well for about a year now. My other one just like randomly died. I wasn't using it for like 2 months or something, and then one of the cells just died. I don't know why. No good reason. Alright, so now we gotta do the other set of welds on here. This nickel that I'm using is really soft, and one of the things that happens with super soft nickel like this is you can accidentally dent it with your fingernail. And I made a little dent on this strip over here and it got all wrinkly. No difference functionally, but it looks kind of funny. And the probes are hot again. This is a constant problem, and I mentioned this last stream. I want to get a second K-weld purely so I can just switch between them while I'm welding and make it faster. Because it really does suck to have to stop like every, 20 or 30 welds or so. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll be fine. We're handling the dent in a very professional manner. That is fair, Zach. Zach, how's your race board? You been riding that much recently? I am kind of on the path to a race board. I'm slowly going to be acquiring parts for it. I can't build it yet because I have 2 boards that need to be built before that, but getting a red ember deck, 14S battery, 3 links, hopefully the HD ones, some M1 ATs, possibly reachers, either reachers or the flip skies, and don't know what remote yet, probably the VX4. What, you like broke the frame? You have like an actual race board, right? Like the full Stooge chassis, the chromoly one, right? So you're saying you broke one of the welds? What? That sounds really sucky. Oh. Yeah, that'll do it. So one thing about 3-links and the stooge boards and stuff, they're not, as much as Mo would like to say, everyday boards if you want them to be, I just don't believe it. I just don't think 3-links are durable enough for everyday streets, especially like the ones around me. I feel like I'd just break them. If you're talking to me, Kyle, I'm talking about the trucks. I think I'd break the trucks. Certain people like to call them Home Depot trucks. I mean, I'm sure they can be everyday boards, but like, I don't know, I just can't imagine those 3-links lasting through all the potholes and stuff. Could be wrong, but there is one guy down here, Joe Dubia, that has been riding his like Evolve / Stooge thing for a while, somewhat daily, and it seems to be holding up, but don't know. I don't have personal experience yet. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like they're so expensive already, which is, you know, questionable. I mean, make your bag, but making them in a more professional way, at least from Mo, I would expect them to be way more expensive. Did you get the HD version, Kyle? Because a lot of people bent the Gen 1 version when they're riding, like street riding. Yeah, I know, you're lucky, Zach. You have a gigantic workshop. I like filmed an interview with Mo at Eastgate Con last year, and I still have never edited it. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna break the HD ones. I would be surprised anyway. Oh, I forgot to set up music for the background of the stream. Oops. Whatever. Yo, Kyle, how's what's his name? Chris, the guy that fell. How's his road rash treating him? As you can see, I can really only go like one row at a time here. I got 2 fans blowing on this thing too to cool him down, but it's just not enough. Dang. Yeah, that's gonna be a rough healing process. Bruise underneath and a bunch of pain on top. zoom in on the welds here, you guys can see them. They're pretty consistent overall. This is why I love the K-weld so much. You can see when it's zoomed in like that, how much this thinner and more flexible nickel like deforms from the heat and the welds going through it. That's fair. I would love to have a workshop someday, or I will have a workshop someday, but I look forward to that day in the future. I have been able to do quite a bit out of my apartment though. I just can't do any like large scale manufacturing or no CNC machines, unfortunately. I think the thing that I would want first is a router. What's up, Mike? Yeah, dude, I don't know what's wrong with YouTube sometimes. Get the most random notifications. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. That's pretty cool, Zach. I'm sure that closet got to very high temperatures. Oh, I've got 3 strips of nickel left. I think the battery might make it. 3.74 volts per cell right now. I think we'll be able to make it through all this. Oh, I definitely can make it. It'll take some time though. Fortunate to have a good engineering job. Yeah. It's a real problem in this room because this is the room that I print in and work in when I work from home. And with the printers running, it gets pretty toasty in here. Especially because I have an artillery sidewinder X1, and that baby gets pretty warm with this gigantic bed. And these are not cooling down very fast. It doesn't help that it's like 80 degrees in here right now. Yeah, dude, it's got up to 89 degrees in here before. Right now, surface temps are like 85, 86. So, yeah. The probes are like 115, 120, somewhere around there. Oh, I don't plan on it. No offense, but I definitely do not plan on doing that. I love California, specifically San Diego. I don't necessarily love everything that happens in the politics of it, but I pretty much just stay out of that, so yeah. I love my beach. I love the culture. The variety of stuff you can find. And it's pretty hard to be bored in San Diego. And besides, I wouldn't want to leave SD Skate, the best e-skate PEV group on the West Coast. Not biased, of course. Donate to our Patreon. We'll do more cool events. Hoping to get an intro to speed started in San Diego soon. Don't know when it's gonna happen quite yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Two more strips to go. Well, 4 if you count the positive and negative, but on the positive and negative, ooh, don't hold that over there. On the positive and negative strips, I need to solder the positive and negative discharge leads before I weld it. Because if I try to solder it while it's on the cells, 1, it'll dump a lot of heat into the cells, which you don't want, and then 2, it'll also be even more of a pain. Because as it is, this is a 4-wheel drive board, which means I have to solder 2 positive leads and 2 negative leads. And that's going to be a drag. So I can't imagine having to solder a whole length of 10 gauge wire onto a set of cells and also have them attached to the battery, which is basically a giant heatsink. That seems a bit extreme. If you're not doing 80 and a 60 in California, you're going to be impeding traffic. I hate to sound like an ad, but have you heard of Ticket Clinic? I've seen it advertised. Yeah, dude, people on the freeway go like 90 most of the time. But I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah, people drive fast here, that's all. Whew. Hot. Maybe, it's online, so. Dude, autopilot is so cool. I intend to have a Tesla someday, either a Model Y or whatever is the best option at the time. And I definitely will get full self-driving. I love driving, don't get me wrong, but some of those long straight stretches, like going up to Tahoe or Yosemite or something like that, I would totally use autopilot there. Yeah, Cybertruck. Honestly, Cybertruck is a very polarizing design, but I kind of like it. The Rivian is too round for me. Yeah, I've still never experienced it in there. I definitely think it would be pretty cool to see in person. What do you mean? Teslas have full self-driving already. You just have to touch the wheel every once in a while. Yeah, it does kind of. I know someone made that like analogy, alliteration, comparison. I don't know. I saw it on Reddit. Oh yeah, summon mode is pretty sweet. I don't know if it works in San Diego very well, but the most useful thing for me, I think, is if you get like parked in really tightly, being able to summon your car out of a spot, that would be pretty sweet. Do you use it often? Also, I'm just going to stress again here, what I'm doing, welding the cells like this with all this nickel exposed here, it does have a decent amount of danger to it. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing here. If you're going to do this, be careful. This, if you drop a piece of nickel across here, it will literally vaporize, so be careful. I highly recommend blue tape across here or Captain tape across here if you're new to this. The only reason I'm not is because I don't want to pull off the fish paper from the cell rings. And also I know what I'm doing, so I do this all the time. You don't have to believe everything Elon says. You can see it in person. Dang it, I ran out of water. Hold on. Wait, so you really haven't activated it? You're not going to know that you're using self-driving. Yep, that's right. Kyle, what are you talking about? Taco Bell does not have tacos. I've literally seen people use full self-driving. You can literally go on YouTube and see it in like 3 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that demonstrated. It's pretty cool. The only way that it isn't full self-driving, Kyle, is because you have to touch the wheel. Also, it's a legal thing. Yeah, but I wouldn't trust those as much as a fully integrated system, I don't think. I love Android, but I wouldn't want Android driving my car. It's not lane keep assist. Even Civics have lane keep assist. The Tesla autopilot is much more advanced than that. It really stops and goes at lights. There's whole YouTube that literally do it all the time. I'm trying to think of what one of them's called. It's this guy that literally just takes his autopilot on like the hardest roads he can find. Oh nice, we got a little magnet dent. Maybe so, but I'd still use it. One more strip. I think we're gonna make it. Might even get to do some soldering. It is. You know, building these brake packs is super fun because you don't have to solder any of the series connections. And that's one of the most annoying things to do. It also takes like the longest, especially if you're using 3 sets of series cables, like 3x12 gauge, which is typically what I end up doing. don't know if you can post links in the chat, but a new scooter? NU, is that the brand? I haven't heard of them. There's a guy in our e-skate group that has this wild scooter, and he was riding it last night in the parking lot at like 50 miles an hour. That makes sense, Mike. Do not have any mods in my stream because I've only streamed twice. Oh, I'm actually behind on some of the other e-skate YouTubers videos. I need to go catch up. I usually watch Quan, Davies, just because he tries so many boards. A couple others. I don't know what ADAS is. Hot, 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 hot. That is true, Zach. What's up, other Zach? I somewhat built the welder. You get K-weld in a kit, and you like assemble it. So, sure, but it's not DIY. Dude, honestly, I'm convinced that Kami is actually sponsored by Trampa. He gets so much stuff from them. One more nickel strip. Let's go. With this final strip, the pack is now in ultimate danger mode. Oh, he is? That's cool. Yeah, let me just do that real quick. I know! I need to get some. Doesn't he have the file available too? I literally have TPU in my printer right now. I know you see me blowing on my fingers. You know the feeling. Yeah, Kami has made some interesting creations before. Definitely more art than super polished off, I would say. Not always fully mechanically sound. Great camera view right there. Level 2 automation. I would say autopilot is like level 3, isn't it? Level 4 requires no human interaction at all, right? If that's what you consider to be mechanically sound, Zach, I think you're going to be disappointed by a lot of people's setups. Dual hubs, dual hubs. What you mean? Oh, okay, yeah. You mean the dual like tires on one axle? Me too. Honestly, I feel like it might be kind of good actually. I think if you were able to support the axle well enough and not bend it, I think the dualies would have a lot more grip. Yeah, it does seem like a gimmick, but I would be interested to ride it and see. Is that true? Dude, Zach, you don't even know. Where I live, literally everyone is a tuner. So many loud exhausts on my street. Ah. Got poked. I don't know if I would want dead silent either. There's a balance. It's nice to experience complete silence occasionally, though, out in the wilderness. On the final stretch. For sure. I'm gonna pull out the soldering iron in a couple of minutes here. I've got maybe another half an hour to go here. Uber. Going to a party. The nickel that I'm welding right now is 0.15 millimeters thick and 30 millimeters wide. Pretty good. I am enjoying using this so far. It's also super, super soft and easy to work with, so it's been good. I have a whole bunch of it. I'm actually willing to sell some to people if they want it. Yep. If I was welding 0.20 right now, the amount of welds I could do in a row would be much less, because I weld 0.2 at 54 joules. I'm welding at 44 right now. Yeah, it makes it so much easier. Like with 0.2, I can only do 8 cells in a row without them getting too hot. Here I can do like 12 to 15. $28, huh? That's so low. You must have a much better battery than me. I did the pull test using 44, and it had really nice like shards, or you know, the sharps. Only a couple welds left here. Maybe I can finish it on this amount of heat. Yep. I gotta get some stuff out for it. I have a little piece of wood that I solder on usually. I kind of want to get one of those silicone welding mats, or soldering mats, because I think it would be a little bit better than my piece of wood. But my piece of wood works pretty well, and I also already have it. So there you go, fully welded 12S 8P minus the positive and negative ends. You see that all right? Gotta take a picture for the stream thumbnail. Or for the VOD thumbnail, rather. And for records. I always like to keep track of my different builds that I do. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing a lick test, thank you very much. I don't really want to lose my entire tongue to my battery. All right, so now we've got 50.4 volts across here. We've got a strip to do on the positive side and a strip to do on the negative side. Other way around. Yeah, there we go. One is a little longer than the other. So, as I do. Turns out that slightly sweaty hands on a gigantic piece of nickel are very good conductors. I think I'm going to turn my welder off for now because I'm not going to use it until later. Oh, I forgot to record this. I'll probably be okay. What time are we at? Where's the stream timer? We're at 1 hour and 10 minutes about. All right, let's set this up here. Just gonna put it off in the background and grab my soldering desk protector. Now, I need to decide how long I want to have my positive and negative leads. So like I mentioned earlier, this is a 4-wheel drive board, so it needs to have 2 positive and 2 negative. Now, let's see, I need my cables. Got my 10 gauge wire. I think I want to set this inside the enclosure to see how long I want the cables first. Also, these screws stick through a tiny bit. Maybe I should put a piece of plastic underneath. Let me think here. Yeah, I'll grab a piece of fiberglass stuff. Actually, this will work. I got a piece of foam to stick in here. What's up, Joey? You missed me shocking myself with my battery. It's very ironic. Happened right after Zach said professional in action. My hands were a bit sweaty. I gotta figure out how long to make my positive and negative leads here. 12S8P is pretty tight in this enclosure, so see what I can do. Let's see. It's going to be a little difficult to route the secondary cables. Yeah, it's definitely a little tighter than I expected. I'm going to switch lenses again, I think. Get a little bit of a wider view. Switch over to the GoPro for now. Ender 3 Max Neo. Nice. That's gonna be some pretty large pieces. I'm assuming you're still gonna have to print them in a bunch of segments, right? Really? What's the build volume on it? Aren't those packs like 15 inches long? .300 by 300 by 240. That's about the same as my artillery. Oh, 340. That's pretty tall. Who needs that much Z height? Let's think here. So we need negative to go all the way over here, both directions. One shorter than the other though. It's gonna be really tough to fit the extra connector in here. And squeeze it by. That's pretty cool. Sounds like a pretty nice printer. Sorry guys, I'm just thinking here, trying to figure out how I want to do this. That'll be pretty cool. You're gonna stack the printers. Also, how are you making so many packs? Are you like contracted to a company or something? Are you allowed to even say? Okay, so one negative will go there. And go down this. That's cool. I guess I'm gonna push it that way a little bit. Don't want to be too tight here. I think that'll work. We need B negative to go to BMS and both discharge. But that's all. So this should be good. Cut it right about there. Dang, that's not bad. But yeah, only PLA is kind of lame. We definitely want to use PETG for those gigantic ones, I think. Or at least PLA plus. This is PLA plus right here, this big enclosure. I'm considering switching to PETG for the lids though, because some people have had them warping, and we don't want that, so. Alright, so we got you there. How do I want to run the second cable? Can I really... I don't know if I want to solder two of these together. How many amps can... The battery can output 200. I want to do 100 each. 10 gauge cable is not really enough for that, so I guess we have to run them next to each other. That kind of sucks. Maybe I'll do like soldered halfway and then soldered halfway or something. Like 4 and 4. I think that would work. I don't want to cut this too long. If I'm only going to solder it there, shouldn't need a ton of extra. I wonder if I have any scrap for this. So if you haven't worked it out, what I'm trying to figure out right now is how long to make the cables for the positive and negative discharge. And since it's 4-wheel drive, we need 2 sets on each. And I'm probably not going to solder these today, just because I think I'm going to stop streaming in like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Okay, I don't have any scrap for this. So, let's see, if I want to do it on 4 here, maybe I'll give it a little bit extra. That should be enough. Then the second cable will be positive. So we'll want you to go out to there. Oh wait, no, we want positive to go through the loop key. So this will go down to there. Maybe I only need to run one positive. Since it's going through the loop key, I can't. Do I run all of the power for a four-wheel drive through the loop key? Four-wheel drive is often powered on with 2 switches. Kyle, are you still here? It says there's only like 2 people on here right now. I don't know who it is. Joe and someone? 3 people? 2 people? I don't know. I should probably ask how he's gonna run this, because do people really put all of the power for their four-wheel drive through the loop key? Seems like a lot of amps. Maybe if I just make the 2 discharge connectors, have them both be the XT90S, then we can just bypass that. And then I can make a little plug for this hole. I might do that. But I guess I have to ask him. If that's the case, I can't really do anything right now then. I guess I could solder the negative, but I'd rather just solder them both at the same time, so I think I'm gonna hop off and do some editing now. Well, got this to a pretty good place today. So, I'm gonna hop off now. It was a nice stream, great talking to everyone, and we got pretty far along on this build. Got all the rest of the welding done. Next up, got to solder the cables to the positive and negative, and then after that it'll be balance wires, some tape cleanup, and it will be looking pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with the progress. Thanks everyone for dropping by, and yeah, I will see you guys later. Pop it up. Bye bye.